Hi everybody, welcome to Safe Space at Hope TV Africa. My name is Blessing Simon and I'm your host for this program. Today we're going to be talking about contentment and its relationship to abuse. I know you're thinking, why? Exactly, because a whole lot is happening in the world today. In this 21st century, a whole lot is happening, especially with our teenagers, our youth. A lot of people are being abused, and it's not just physical abuse. We have emotional abuse. So a lot of people are going through these things, and they find it very difficult to come out and express themselves. So we're going to be relating contentment and abuse. Let's know if contentment is one of the causes of abuse, whether physical or emotional abuse. With me today, we have a very amazing person. He is the founder of Hope Army. Honestly, they've been doing a whole lot. They've been giving hope to people. The organization is doing a whole lot, and they are trying to combat abuse as well. So I would really urge you to take your pen, take your paper, and listen, because he has a lot to offer. His name is Michael B. Legend. Trust me, he's an amazing person. He's doing a whole lot, and you're going to learn. Just stay focused, listen. Thank you. You're welcome, sir, to this show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on this show. Blessing. I must say you've been doing a great job with Safe Space, and I'm so glad to be on the show.
Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about contentment. Like I said, we're relating it to abuse. But before we even talk about abuse and relating contentment to abuse, first of all, let us know what contentment is all about. So, sir, please, can you shed more light on what contentment is all about so that we can understand properly before going in depth into this matter?
Okay, thank you. Contentment is a very, very critical, word in the world today, and it fundamentally determines the direction of life for most people. Contentment could be a sense of satisfaction or dissatisfaction, and many times it is largely based on perspective. Somebody may have 2 naira, for instance, and they are happy. I remember one time years ago, I was battling with house rent situation. Very committed boy in church. I till date, I'm a very humorous person. Any room I enter, people must laugh. So that culture follows me everywhere, and I give God the glory. So that my humor personality had always been constant, even when in church, in our media unit. For like 2-3 months, I was almost thrown out of my house. One day I just summoned courage, because I don't want to bother people with my issues, but that one had got into my neck. I'm still talking about contentment. I just had to go and meet the then coordinator of the unit. And I said, sir, this is what I've been going through. I've tried to hold my peace for long. It's not working. I need to pay my house rent or I'll be thrown out. What he said is that, and Michael, the way you do in the unit, nobody will even know that you were passing through this. Now that to me is contentment on one level. There's somebody else who may even have what other people are praying for, yet they do not think they have enough. So contentment is based on perspective, and it brings a feeling of satisfaction or dissatisfaction with life.
Okay, so I'm just very curious, because a whole lot is happening in the world today, especially with the teenagers and the youth. In terms of being satisfied with what you want, do you think that the youth, they are getting it wrong? Because for you to be satisfied, you need to get to a particular level. Yes, I don't know. Do you think that they are getting it wrong? Probably we can say they are losing focus on what they are supposed to be doing, because this is a whole lot. Imagine you see a 17-year-old boy. I believe such a person should be contented. But you see them making effort to want to make money. I know it's okay to make money at such young age, but legally. But at they going out of proportion for these things? I'd like to know, sir. Are they really? They're doing a whole lot, honestly.
The society that we have today has been programmed in such a way that it sort of want to make everybody meet up to a certain standard. And on my series captioned Exposing the Entertainment Industry, one of the experiences I talked about, I was a former kingpin in the entertainment industry. I was the originator, or you could say founder, of Wet and Wild Pool Party, and we held different seasons. We started from season 1 and then all the way down. And of course, time and chance, God took us, rerouted our focus elsewhere. So I gave a very striking experience in one of the experiences I shared. In those days, everybody looked up to us. They felt we were the men who were making things happen. So upcoming boys, ladies alike, everybody wanted to be in our good books. But the truth of the matter is that what we were selling to them was a lie. And I gave an instance of, for instance, if I did a party, a pool party, in those days we used to charge 2,000, 1,000 naira per individual to enter our show. And then, of course, many times girls must enter for free. You know, that's a story for another day.
Yeah,
but
it still happens.
Yeah, they must enter for free because when guys come to a party, for instance, you are Blessing, maybe you are my guy. You called me and you said you are in ML's party. Usually what I will ask you is that, is the party happening? More like the party they happen. If you say yes, and almost immediately the next thing I'll ask you is that, babes, did the party? If you say yes, then I'm on my way there. Because when people show up in a party and then maybe guys now, they've taken alcohol, done one or two things, everybody will be looking for one babe or the other to hold. Now, we could have a party of 300 people attending. Assuming 150 came in for free because they are ladies. We are just assuming generally. And assuming all the guys paid 2,000 naira, that's 300,000. After you pay expenses, maybe settle the venue, settle DJ at the end of the day, sometimes you end up having 0 naira at the end of the show. The next day you will need to tell a story. People who came saw that the place was choked, everything was happening, drinks was going on, you know, everything. You wouldn't come the next day as the host of yesterday and tell them the party flopped. You probably tell them a story that you want them to believe, that my party was a success. If you have a picture of some monies on the table and so on and so forth, wristwatch, gold and all that, you put on your broadcast. At the end of the day, some people, boys will begin to ping you that, you know what, boss, I want to blow, you know, I'm looking up to you. And with time, you now see these same boys, some of them begin to open their own crews because they want to be like Michael Legend. But what Michael Legend sold to them was a lie. And then it begins to breed certain level of discontentment. So in a nutshell, what we have today is a world that is largely based on a lie. And because most people are yet to discover themselves or know their direction in life, they just fall for any lie that is out there.
Going back to what you said about getting girls to attend for free, don't you think it still happens to dates where you see some parties and then they give you ladies free, guys this amount of money, or they say if you don't have an iPhone that uses Face ID, you won't be able to enter and stuff like that. Don't you think it's giving a different orientation to the upcoming generation?
Exactly.
Because I feel you're making these girls know that they must be dependable on a man, which ideally is not supposed to be so. And then we are giving the young guys an orientation that a lady must be under them, like you must be the one to take care of a lady and all. When to be very honest, we know that we ladies can do a lot, take care of ourselves and all. So don't you think that something has to be done about this? Because we are giving a lot of wrong orientation to the upcoming generation.
You know, like what you said, the idea you gave about the situation of ladies, it, in my opinion, also sets a lot of ladies on the path to endless discontentment. Because something in them just feels they have to maintain a certain posture to fit into life.
Like they're under pressure.
Exactly. And it also brings one of the stories I shared on that my series, where I gave a very graphic instance. Those are real life stories. We don't cook up stories. Sometimes, take for instance, this is my studio. We have a studio where, as ML on the mic, I was like, the ringleader of the party organizers in Abuja. So my office that has a music studio and the rest of them is like the headquarters. So many times my friends, my guys, they will come, and then when they come, everybody, will just be there. But because we don't have money, it's just a system of lives that we've created. We can look around. Who are the ladies that live around this area? We know them. So I could just call you on phone if you are in the environment. I'll say, bless you, have fun. You say, boss, man, this one. I say, okay. Where you day? I day house now. I will now say something like, blessing, you know fi blow. You know fi blow is a little bit of joke, but we are trying to use it to drive a narrative.
Okay.
Because we have this language that we use, you will understand that. The impression it creates is that, they try. So you want to find out why they try. I will now say something like, so you expect, say, may celebrities, they studio, may we carry our money, go they buy food. Why we get you as chair lady of the arrangement now? So you too, you now feel, but you will now begin to think, but that's true. If you are around, celebrities shouldn't be using their money to buy food. There is no money.
They need to create impression.
Exactly. So she will now need to go around the house, get food, and bring to us. If there's no food, she will grant a restaurant. When those kind of food come, we know the one we come from house, we come from restaurant. But where it's coming from, we don't care. The thing is, somebody has fed us. Now, she's on that path constantly to please us because she believes that one way or the other, something will happen.
More like looking for validation from you people.
That's the point. So we just create a system of jokes. Yes, many times to many of us, including the ladies, it's just exciting. They love the euphoria. They love. Some of them know we are lying. They love the lie.
Wow, this has been very insightful. But after speaking about contentment, we still need to know about discontentment. Okay, because contentment, we can say that's the positive side, while discontentment, we can say it's the negative side. So, sir, please, can you help us explain how this discontentment come about?
That's a very great question. My opinion about discontentment is going to be tied closely to lack of knowledge of self. Because I once said, find God, find your purpose, and stay focused. You will achieve or become anything in life. Many people whom I see are discontented today is usually linked to a lack of direction. Because when you don't know where you are going, everywhere looks like it. And somebody that does not have a destination does not arrive anywhere. So discovery of purpose is like your map, the map that you use to navigate your path in life. Somebody who does not have it is heading nowhere. And the result of that is availability for anything and vulnerability to all things. Based on that, the pathway to move out of a situation of aspiring for what is not yours, seeing somebody, which are all signs of discontentment, seeing somebody's success and using it to rate your failure, the pathway out of that is to look forward to actually finding your own purpose in life, because everybody has a purpose. The Bible says, ask of me and I will answer you and show you great and mighty things which thou knowest not. So you have to go to God, get your purpose, and stay focused.
I can see that a lot of people mistake focus for validation. Yeah, you think you're focused, but in reality, without even realizing it, you're trying to get validation from the public. And this is where social media has a role to play. Not everything we see on social media is real. There's a lot of fake on social media. So in the process of trying to get validation based on these things we are seeing on social media, some people will assume I'm very focused. Meanwhile, they are looking for validation. These are two things that we are nowadays people misinterpret and misplace it without even realizing it. So I also think that discontentment stirs up from a lot of factors, of which I can say social media, like I just mentioned earlier, social media is one of the major factors, because everybody, once I see this thing on social media, I know that I'm not doing enough. Hey God, how is my friend doing this thing? She's posting cards, she's posting, forgetting that for everything you see on social media, a price has been paid. People pay prices. I've learned in this life, my mom taught me something: don't compare yourself with anybody, whether rich, wealthy, poor, because you do not know what that person has done in the hidden for the person to get to where they are today. So do not compare yourself. You just see somebody, your friend is driving a G-Wagon, and then the person passes and you're like, do I have two heads? Am I the only one? You don't know what that person has been doing. That G-Wagon would have been gotten legally or illegally. They would have done a lot of things without, and you just assume that this thing is, it doesn't work that way. Life is a process. To stay focused, you have to understand that it's a process, and for every step we have to know that we have to learn to appreciate ourselves.
That's correct.
Because the moment you appreciate your little effort, you realize that you're being contented, and then you're able to put yourself in a way where things do not affect you. So that brings me to the question, sir. What do you think are the factors that can cause discontentment?
Okay. Now, I'll pick it up from where you started from as well. You talked about focus. The funny thing about life is that everybody is focused on something. That is where you hear what we refer to as the rat race. The rat race is massive effort in every direction. And every direction is exactly the same thing as no direction at all. That is also where we captured beating against the wind. That's where it comes from. Wind is blowing now, you now went out, you now set blow that you want to fight the wind. That person will develop 6 packs fighting the wind. So I just wish the energy people put into factors like laziness, factors like discontentment, they can also put it in the right way. But how will you know the right way when you don't even know your direction? It takes us back to purpose. However, talking about focus and linking it to purpose, I was reading a book one time and the author made an analogy there. There was this man in that town, very wealthy. Most of the youths were looking up to him. So usually during weekends, they go to the beach to swim and, free life. On one occasion, one of the youths that look up to that man from a distance was observing the man swimming. And because the young man is a diver, is like a lifeguard, he saw that it seems as if the man was intentionally wanting to drown himself. Successful man by their own standards. He now swung into action, went to the man, rescued him, and said, okay, were you drowning or you wanted to drown yourself? The man told him that I've gotten to a point in my life where I feel that I was dissatisfied. There is nothing to this life. The boy said, okay, you that way, all of us are looking up to, we want to be like you. You are the one that is saying you are dissatisfied. Now, the moral of that story is that no matter how wealthy we become, no matter how accomplished we become, if our accomplishment is not tied to giving a portion of ourselves to humanity, that is, giving that which we carry to humanity, even at 70, you probably will get to a point where maybe you know it or not, something in you will feel you are not complete. That was the story of that man. You see it now. So ultimately, focus must be channeled in the right direction. There are people today who are baristas because their parents are not only baristas, but they wanted them to take their footsteps. But ultimately, that young man or that young lady may have not been called to the bar from creation. Although usually some of them may go that route and then at some point they now pick what their passion is. So that's why sometimes you see professionals getting to a point in life, they now open a charity to send, take children out of school. They begin to do certain things. But there are those who may not have that liberty. You see them struggling, and sometimes they emerge successful. But success in life is different compared to success in the sight of God.
Interesting. Honestly, this is very, very interesting. I'm really learning a lot. You see, for factors that can cause discontentment is a whole lot, honestly. Factors like social media, peer pressure, not discovering yourself. I think that should be like the first factor, because when you understand your purpose in life, when you understand who you're supposed to be, what you're meant to be, you'll be able to direct your life in that direction so that you can be able to grow and build yourself. Self-discovery, very important. And I feel like there are other factors like validation and the likes that can cause discontentment. Association, let's not forget that. Association, it can cause discontentment. Now, these factors can be handled. These things can be controlled. Before we get to that part, we're going to be talking about how discontentment can link to abuse. Remember, our initial focus was to relate contentment and abuse. So now, discontentment, we've understood that it is not understanding yourself, not knowing yourself, not knowing your purpose, which can trigger peer pressure, validation from others, and the likes. Now we are going to link this to abuse. Okay, sir, can you help us? Can you enlighten us about how discontentment can lead to abuse?
Thank you for that, great question again. There is a series on Hope TV Africa. Odogu promises to make Anita blow in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
That series summarizes your question. One of the things discontentment does to the individual is that it makes them vulnerable. They feel they don't have what they deserve. They feel they are not where they are supposed to be. They feel a lot of people have gone ahead of them. Many times they are willing to do whatsoever it takes to match up. That whatsoever it takes makes them available for whatsoever comes. So what Odogu promised Anita was that he will have to sleep with her in order for him to make her blow in the movie industry.
So in the sense of the word, they tag that using what you have to get what you want.
Exactly.
But that can actually be seen in a different light.
Correct.
Which is another topic for another day.
Correct. So ultimately, Anita, who is a struggling upcoming actress, has gotten to a point where she feels, to succeed in this environment, I must use, in the negative sense, what I have to get what I want. And she felt Odogu was the angel in the room, having been referred. And she came, and Odogu said, for me to make you blow, he was the one that blow this one, blow that one, blow heaven and earth. If for me to make you blow, everything about you will be my property. And Anita said, why am I here? If you are the pathway to my greatness, come and have what you want. Only for her to find out that the same narrative that was sold her is the same narrative that Odogu probably has sold to 50 other ladies. It's a suggestion. The question is, are you available to be suggested in that sense? So fundamentally, each time there is discontentment, there is always vulnerability. And one of the, apart from forceful situations where people are raped and all that, one of the key factors of abuse is when people are vulnerable. You get it?
Yes. Okay, so in the case of Anita and Odogu, I can say that probably she did not think a lot about it, because she would have asked herself, what if this man was a scam? And then I don't think it was necessary. There are other ways you could blow in the entertainment industry aside having to sleep with somebody else and the likes. Then coming down to something I noted in the course of watching that series, I feel that while educating the girls that this is what you should do, this is what you should not do. We should also educate the boys so that they too can understand that there are certain things that they should not do. I know the African culture has made things a bit tedious, but thank God for Christianity and thank God for the modern age that a lot of people are beginning to realize certain things. I feel that aside educating the boys, we should also educating the girls, we should also educate the boys, which is story for another day. Now, coming back to discontentment and abuse, honestly, I can say that a lot of people that have been especially emotionally abused tends to come from discontentment, in the sense that you're not contented with what you have. You're not satisfied. You're looking for that boyfriend of yours that you would get, that would sponsor your life. I think I watched some shows and then they'll ask some ladies, do you think you're okay? They'll ask the ladies and then the ladies will be like, what do you bring to the table? Or the guys will say, what do you bring to the table? And then the lady will respond like, I'm the table.
I'm a full package. Which table you defining?
Honestly, it's very, very funny. You're presenting yourself as a lady that I'm the table, and yet you have nothing to offer. Intelligence, your IQ is below 50.
Because something must be on the table.
Honestly,
at the end of the day.
Your IQ is below 50. Your character, nothing to write home about. Your sense of presentation, how you look, how you talk, zero. And then you say you are at the table. I don't understand that kind of table. But then I can literally say that most of these things make a lot of girls vulnerable, because given the African culture background, they have this mindset that a man must provide for me. A man must provide. And then the men have this mindset that a woman must be, okay, they see women sometimes as slaves. Thereby, okay, you see a young lady in a relationship and then she's having to tolerate a lot of things. He's beating me, he's doing this, but I cannot leave him because he has money. There's this popular saying that it is better to cry in a Benz than to cry elsewhere. But then it doesn't make sense. It's actually very funny, because you're giving the ladies this mindset that I can tolerate abuse. Why? Because he provides for me. Some kind of demands, and I'm like, why can't you provide for yourself? A man will respect you more when you provide for yourself. You don't have to tolerate he's beating me, he shouts at me, he does this, he does that, just because he's going to give you 1 million naira every time you ask money, or 10 million naira every time you ask him for money. It doesn't really make sense. Your mental health is very important.
That's correct.
The same way we say that ladies are being in abusive relationships, is the same way some men are also in abusive relationships, just that they cannot speak out. Their own abuse is even more because it damages their mental health. For a man to be in an abusive relationship, that's a whole lot to take in. Especially in Abuja, where you see a lot of guys living in with ladies just because ladies are working, they have money, and then they are doing this whole sugar boy thing. Doesn't make sense. There they have to tolerate. I think there was a time one of my friends was gisting me about something. She said there was this her friend, he started doing the whole sugar boy thing for a very rich lady here in Abuja, and then she has to monitor everything he does. Like, he can't even send money to somebody without her knowing. Everything he does, the kind of emotional blackmail she does, it was too much, and the guy started looking for help. There are guys that are in such situations, and honestly, we have to help them speak out. It's not easy. Okay, so now we're going to just we're going to be talking about advices that you can give to people in such situation, especially those facing emotional abuse and physical abuse to some extent. So please, sir, what advice can you give to the public, the young girls, the young boys? Because now the kind of abuse we face nowadays is not just on the part of the girls alone. The guys are also facing abuse. It's just that they feel, okay, because I'm a man, I cannot say it. It's a lie. You have to talk. You need help. You have to speak up. So please, sir, what advice can you give to these people?
Okay. The first advice for you is realization. You are not ready to make change when a realization and an admittance has not been achieved. One first must realize that I'm in a place where I don't want to be again. You must admit it. Once you have realized and admitted, the next thing is to take steps. Of course, Safe Space provides that step. I know you're doing a great job as a trained counselor. You provide such opportunities. You are in a place where you don't know if to go right or left. You can reach out to Safe Space. The numbers will be displayed on the screen. But more specifically, for things you can do alone, you need to run back to God. I said, find God, find purpose, stay focused. Many people are in relationships that they know is not going anywhere. But because they don't want to be without bae or boo, they are remaining there. Why will you be at a place that's heading nowhere? There are many people in relationships that has dented their spiritual lives. They no longer pray. They no longer do what they used to do. It's foolishness to be remaining in a place that is not gainful. If it is not advancing your life, cut it off. Jesus even said it more specifically. He said, if it is your hand that is dragging you to hell, cut it off. It's better to go to heaven maimed than to go to hell full. You see, now, so you are sufficient alone. God created you complete. If there's somebody somewhere who has created a mental reality to you that your survival, your success, your progress in life, like Odogu was trying to relate to Anita, is dependent on them, that person is speaking from the pit of hell. The same person that is giving you an impression that your life is nothing without them. What if God called the person the next minute? What now happens to you? So you must realize that with God and with you, you are sufficient. Other people are jara. Yes, you need people on your journey in life, but not people that make you feel less of yourself. People, places, environments, impressions, jobs that remove from you instead of adding to you. It's not your place. That is what we call abusive environments. You see it now.
Thank you very much, sir. This has been so insightful. The truth remains that you have to come to realization that you are in an abusive environment. If not, you will not grow. You remain stagnant. You keep looking for validation from other people. Meanwhile, the validation you're supposed to get is supposed to be from God. So I don't even know why you're seeking validation from other people in the first place. But remember, you're not alone in this. We are here for you. When you realize yourself, go back to God. Seek for direction. God is always there to direct you. His arms are wide open for you. Okay, He loves you and is there to direct you. So please, it's time we start telling ourselves that enough of this discontentment, enough of the abuse. There's a whole lot going on in the world today. People are being physically abused, emotionally abused, and it stems from certain decisions we make as a person. The truth is, in as much as we try to even speak to some persons about this thing, you can take a horse to the river, but you can't force it to drink water. You have to make a decision for yourself. We are here to guide you. We are here for you. If you need to reach out to us on anything, just on anything concerning abuse, either you're being abused or you know somebody that is being abused, and sometimes some people don't even know that they are being abused. Is as critical as not being abused and then you don't know you're being abused. So in case you know somebody in that situation or you're in that situation and you don't want to come to the public to say all these things, it's fine. You can reach out to us. The numbers are being displayed on the screen. Kindly reach out to us and we'll follow up from there. Thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you. You stayed from the beginning to the end. And we also want to thank our speaker, Mr. Michael L. Babalola. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. You've really given us a lot of things to go back and look into. Honestly, I myself am still going to go back and ask myself certain questions about this whole thing. Let me know if I'm in the right path. Have I discovered myself? What steps I need to take? And remember, if I need to go back to God, also ask yourself those questions. Do you need to go back to God? Very important. Have you discovered your purpose in life? Are you focused and not seeking validation? You need to ask yourself these questions. Thank you so much, sir, for coming, and we hope to have you another time. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. Okay, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more interesting episodes like this. Thank you. Bye.